Dude, this guy is swinging. If Karen Reed had a set of nuts, this dude would be swinging off her nuts like Tarzan, like literally Tarzan. Captain Save-A-Ho!
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. And, you know, I mean, obviously he's got his own issues, right?
Hey everybody, good morning. This is Sam and you are at After the Bars. That's for the crowd cheering. Well, it's good to see everybody. I'm so glad you can make it. Oh my gosh, look, Danette's here. Good morning, Danette. I'm glad you were able to make it this morning and wake up for the Morning Mayhem show. Maybe it's because of the topic. I've got a pretty good topic, a topic I don't talk about much. I mean, I've talked a lot about the Karen Reed trial. I've talked a lot about Justice for John. I've never really spoke too much about Turtleboy. I've always respected Turtleboy. I've always thought that he was definitely 1,000,000% the catalyst. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I just ran to get my carrot juice. Trying to instill some pigment back into my skin since I haven't been out in the sun in a few days. Because I've been sick. You know, I have my viewers and subscribers have all asked me to land one way or another about Turtleboy on different topics, or asked me to look into it. They've never tried to like pressure me into landing some way. Because if how I'm feeling about a certain situation regarding Turtleboy, I always just investigate it myself, and then I always I've never once not landed on Turtleboy's side, or at least thought like, no, I believe he is right on this one. And if it's like a push, you know, like if it's even, I always give Turtleboy the benefit of the doubt, not in a blind loyalty sort of way, just in a, you know, the facts kind of land evenly. So with this situation, I don't know how many of you are involved in the Free Karen Reed spaces, like on X or on YouTube. But there is a huge space. The FKR space is huge, and there's different pockets of it. And like I have like a friend in each like different pocket of it. I've talked about my history with Kate Peters, of which I wouldn't even call it a history. Like she wouldn't say she knows me. I was just in a parallel community with her, and Shiz, which from Shiz Happens. And they helped me, they hipped me to some things that were going on that were bad in my world that I didn't know about. And so then I, you know, promptly fixed it. Anyways, I can't remember, what was I on? Well, there's a creator called NurseKim. She's in the Free Karen Reed space. I've watched her here and there. She's adorable. She's everyone loves her. There's no like, I haven't ever heard anyone type or say anything negative about her. She seems pretty like Switzerland, you know, with everything. And I mean, I'm sure she's outspoken on some things. Don't get it twisted. I don't know her well enough to say what those things would be. But anyways, so there was X, or Twitter has these spaces. Has these spaces. I know she's on right now, and I'm bummed out about that because I don't want to, not that my show would compete with hers, but I would like to watch what she is saying, but I don't want to stream her show on my show, because that would, not without her permission, you know. But so anyway, so NurseKim was playing this X space that was recorded and it had a bunch of players in it, but the number one player that what we're going to talk about is a guy named FlipperHead, who I've never heard of before this weekend. Never heard of him. That doesn't mean anything though. That does. I haven't heard of a lot of people that I should know of or, should be familiar with. I just have my friends, Loophole Lawyer, Samantha, and so anyway, so they're playing this thing, and this guy from Australia named Koala something. I could find out exactly what it's Koala. And then a guy named FlipperHead, Joe FlipperHead. He also goes by Nick, or sometimes people call him Alan Iverson. I don't know if he's white or black. That doesn't matter. But his avatar is like a picture of like an Alan Iverson looking guy. So it took me a while to even try to figure out like who is this fool. I don't even know the dude's name for real, or like his handle. So I'm just going on Joe FlipperHead, and been here before. Are you anti-Turtleboy? I am not anti-Turtleboy. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. I am a huge fan of Turtleboy, and that's what I was just saying. Like whenever I'm giving the benefit of the doubt of someone or of a situation, I always give Turtleboy the benefit of the doubt. And with this situation, I don't even have to do that. And I'll just go ahead and hip you to where I've landed on this situation. I think that this is someone in law enforcement has been wiretapping Turtleboy, because you can almost tell it's a recording of him on speakerphone. So I think that they are trying to divide. They're trying to get people to say more than what they normally would say, to get them to tell on themselves. I think there's all kinds of possibilities that could be happening here. So I'm pro Turtleboy, and I'm gonna stand on all 10 toes and defend him on this situation, on any other situation. Yeah, he can be brash or whatever, crass, whatever what the word is. He can but I have lots of friends in my real life that are just like him. So I absolutely will my mods please help Noodles Mama understand what my channel is and where I land on these situations. You can see my content. I've written songs about Karen Reed and Turtleboy. Like we're not a negative channel. We at all. We absolutely all have a voice. I'm not saying there's not people in my community that are anti Karen Reed or not. I welcome an oppositional voice in my community. I always of the mind, prove me wrong. Prove me that I'm not landing on the right side of things. It's we don't block people. We don't censor people in this community. We are just 1,000,000% trying to find the truth for James O'Keefe. I mean, I know everyone says that, this is really justice for John. It absolutely is justice for John. And what that means to me, and let me just hip everybody to what that truly means to me, is that most likely Brian Higgins goes to prison, that Judge Canton goes to jail or loses her bar license, gets fined and becomes destitute, just like how she tried to make Karen Reed and anyone else that she has been corrupt and colluded with law enforcement or a prosecutor. I think Brennan should go to jail. I think Brennan's been a crooked lawyer forever and ever since he defended Whitey Bulger, who I happened to be in prison with just before he was unalived. at Hazleton, West Virginia. I was in federal prison with out on the East Coast. So that's kind of where my channel is. I've been redeemed. I am going to do my story soon again, but you can find it all over YouTube. Just type in and
Real Fabio.
yeah, oh yeah, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost had the name. So he's like, yeah, that dude, he didn't testify against somebody on the trial. But maybe it's more info. Maybe it's more info. Okay. So this is NurseKim. So they've already been into it. I could play the whole thing, but they've already been arguing about this recording. So the main issue is that someone sent Alan Jackson and Karen Reed a recording of Turtleboy and Karen Reed on the phone. At this point, there's been no proof of it. There's been no receipt. So Turtleboy's pissed and he's saying, like, show me the receipt, play the recording. If it's true, play the recording. He's adamant he didn't record it. To be honest, even if he did, I wouldn't be mad at him. Because there was a lot going on, and so him handing it over to the police, that's where I would have a problem. If he ever did that, if he recorded a private conversation between him and Karen and gave it to law enforcement, then there would be an issue. If he was trying to, like, get her in trouble, which I don't think in a million years he would do, even if he's upset about her not coming on to his show first after she was acquitted. Because there was some sore feelings there. Now I haven't seen anything where he's really came out and been disrespectful about it. He's just said, his feelings were hurt, and hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but remember, hit that like button down below. It really helps the channel and to grow bigger and better and more diverse, and not that weird, creepy kind of government diverse. I'll Samsplain it for you if you want. You want to hear some Samsplaining? Just like the video down below. This is where we're starting from. They're all arguing. This dude FlipperHead and some dude from Australia named Koala Dave or something. They're like telling Turtleboy he's a piece of shit. You recorded Karen, but here's the deal. And Karen Reed had texted Turtleboy after he did this show at the Wilbur, saying, "Hey, I know you recorded me. I heard a tape of you and me having a conversation, and but Turtleboy's like, wait, this is between me and Karen. Her and I will deal with this, but." Supposedly, allegedly, Karen is trusting this guy FlipperHead to air out her personal laundry on X and on YouTube. I don't necessarily think that I think if she did, it's going to come back to bite her in the ass. And I really just think she needs just to focus on this civil case. She's about to take down a bunch of people. There's lawsuits. I know I haven't covered it yet, but there's she's countersued against all the main players that we would want her to countersue, except for, the judge and I think the Commonwealth. She hasn't filed that yet, via Alan Jackson and all her new lawyers. But anyways, I would really hope she wouldn't trust this guy FlipperHead, some dude named FlipperHead or Nick, to be her warrior, her soldier, her like in Game of Thrones when they have someone fight for them in a dispute. Why would she choose anybody? She should be just being quiet. She's about to really get justice for John. If that's what she cares about, she just needs to be quiet and not have this lame fight her battles for her. So anyways, let's listen to this.
The first thing he talks about.
Yes, absolutely. Especially with like, yeah, are you talking about the wiretapping? Sorry, Joe. Yes, if there is wiretapping, I do not agree with wiretapping. I denounce it. 100%. Don't fucking record people without their knowledge, period. And I would say it to anyone. I don't believe there was wiretapping.
Yeah, 100%. He'd write about it. Aaron is Boston as fuck.
It's
I was
very
hoping to-
boring.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. So so they've already been arguing about this. So this guy named Joe from Canton comes on, and this is where I want to leave it at. I don't want to get into all the details. I could play a little bit of the thing, but this guy, Joe from Canton, comes on and speaks sense into the whole situation, and that's really what I'm trying to highlight today. So if you guys want to hear the recording, you can go into X and find it. Sorry guys, my computer just did a big hiccup.
Weston.
Apologies. I was hoping to.
Want the person knowing you're recording because it can make things worse. Yes, that's absolutely. Absolutely. Indigo Twin says the only part I disagree with her on is in a DV situation. Sometimes you don't want the person knowing you're recording because it can make things worse. Absolutely, Indigo. 1,000,000%. I agree with that. 1,000,000%. So, man, I wonder if I should do the whole backstory on this. Well, let's listen to what Joe from Canton has to say first.
Speak for a second. My name's Jay. I'm from Canton.
Or Jay.
Listen to this, lovies. Now, this was I wanted to play this at the end because I found it impactful. And I'll let it play through. Hi, Jay from Canton,
Massachusetts.
Hi, Jay.
I've lived this drama. I knew John O'Keefe. I know Karen Reed. I've been listening in and just trying to figure out what the hell the drama is. And frankly, I'm embarrassed. When I got involved in this, I knew John O'Keefe. I coached his adopted daughter, his niece, and felt horrible about the whole situation. Watched it from afar for a while. Been afraid to speak a lot because I know everyone involved. And when I start hearing all this, these are the shenanigans that ruin a movement. And kind of embarrassed about the whole thing.
And don't get it twisted. This is a movement. It's not like just some supporters. This is a movement to help clean up the corruption in Massachusetts in a whole, but Norfolk County. It's definitely a movement. Things have, we already know with Sarah Birchmore, now Kelsey Fitzsimmons, which I am going to cover her later on today.
I'll pause there and listen to what you guys have to say.
Thank you, Shell.
Yeah, I mean, I understand being embarrassed by the whole thing. I mean, you have to put yourself in Karen's shoes, I think, because this guy has been he has free reign to say whatever he wants about her.
Do you hear what this guy just said? You have to put yourself in Karen's shoes. Well, Karen and Turtleboy have a history, and it's a history that I think Karen and Turtleboy need to work out on their own. And so I just don't understand it. Like, yes, this guy has shown emails and text messages of him and Karen texting back and forth. I get it. Maybe she's just using this guy. And that would be wrong for her. I'm not condemning her for it. I'm just saying she's making a mistake. That this isn't helping anything at all, not even a little bit. It's just bringing a ton of attention to a ton of negativity to and dividing, which is what the McAlberts want, and everyone else that's on the other side. They want everyone to be yelling at each other, to be divided. They want Turtleboy and Karen to hate each other. And I think that's why I really strongly believe that this was a wiretap from the police, and that was forwarded anonymously to Alan Jackson. Why else would anyone send that to him? There's no other reason. There's no other reason. And there's no reason for it. Just say Turtleboy did make that recording. There's no reason that he would share that with anybody else. I guess it's a 30-minute call. There's bits and pieces of it on X, really just a bit, not even bits and pieces. And some of it I can tell has been edited. So now everything's out of context. So now it's Turtleboy and Karen arguing about a situation about him and then him going to jail, that he shouldn't even went over to that Leslie Gaetano, whatever her name is. And there's been drama with her this weekend, and I could share some of that too. Actually, I might. And but from Turtleboy's point of view. And there is damn it, where was I at? There's the Turtleboy. Yeah, so anyway, so even if he did, why would he share that with anybody? There's absolutely no purpose. So the clips that I have heard of it on X, they've definitely been edited because the sentences don't make sense. You know, it's him and her arguing, and then it just cuts in where he says, you know, but when you needed that $1 million, I was there for you. Like, now you can't trust any of it because it's not a raw, complete recording. You know, it's been doctored. So,
you know, and if this shit's going on behind the scenes and he wants to be transparent, but then he goes and tells his listeners, like, he doesn't know why she won't come on the show. Like, everyone feel bad for me. Like, if you can't see that's what he was doing, then like, I can't help you for it. Like, people were.
Who cares if he was doing that? What do you care? What do you care, Nick? What do you care if he wants a little sympathy? My feelings would have been super hurt. Now there was a reason for her not to do it, and maybe he didn't know it then, but he knows it now, and so now he takes the high road and says, you know what? I owe Karen a thank you. Karen made me. Sarcastic or true, it's the truth. So
then people were actually like talking bad about Karen for not going on his show. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's them though. People can have their own opinions. So you're saying people can't have their own opinions about a true situation, which was Karen didn't go on Turtleboy's show, when I believe, and a lot of other people believe, that Turtleboy saved Karen's life. Who can say that's not a true statement? Did Turtleboy save Karen Reed's life? Put a 2 in the chat if you believe that's true. Please. Put a 1 in the chat if you don't believe that's true. All right.
So like, how is she supposed to, like, I think we all know Karen Reed would never be the one to publicly come out and say anything. When she sent me that message, it was 2 weeks ago. I didn't say anything. He starts talking about it. People start speculating. I told her, I was like, hey, like, I feel weird even talking to you about this because it's like fucking high school bullshit. But
Yeah, Indigo. Indigo says, I think it's Karen's prerogative if she wants to go on someone's show. Absolutely. However, at the same time, it can come off disingenuous if he did release the recording because it could seem as him taking advantage. Yeah. Yeah. I don't. I think there might be a timeline problem with that, but I agree with you 1,000,000%. It's definitely, she can go on anyone's show she wants first for whatever reason. And if she goes on that show or Turtleboy show first, I don't think it really matters. You know, save the best for last or whatever. And Turtleboy being hurt, that's his prerogative to be butthurt about it. Absolutely. I don't think I would have been butthurt about it. As long as there was a promise to come on. Look, he had Alan Jackson on. Alan Jackson isn't out there doing interviews on everyone's podcast, and there's been a lot of people that have helped this trial. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's just what I could see. The devil's advocate. Yeah, absolutely. Recording without permission. Yeah. This was like a huge. Oh yeah, Timu Chandler. I have a picture of him somewhere. It would take a while to find it. We love Timu Chandler. Hey, he's in the civil case too, guys. Timu is there. I seen him when they were listing all the lawyers. When they got to the lawyer number 7, Timu was sitting down next to the lovely lawyer. I can't remember her name. Not Alan Jackson's partner.
But it's like he's putting shit out there. Like, do you want your story? Like, do you want your side out? It's the only reason. Like, I would. Like, I don't think it's right. Like, for him to just do like.
Dude, this guy is swinging. If Karen Reed had a set of nuts, this dude would be swinging off her nuts from hell to high water, like Tarzan, like literally Tarzan. You can even tell in the emails that he's shown on X. I guess there was a part of the trial where he helped Karen Reed and her legal team. He noticed something, and they were like, "Oh wow, yeah, give us your phone number. Let's." I think you're right. It's something to do with the dog bites, and they've remained friends. But listen to this guy. He's like telling her, like, "Do you want your side out? Do you want your side out?" I just think it's whatever, dude. Whatever, man. Captain, save a hoe.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. And, I mean, obviously he's got his own issues, right? I mean, everyone's got their own issues, right? But,
So when this dude FlipperHead comes out, now Turtleboy and FlipperHead were friends, and FlipperHead had an issue about this girl who he thought was catfishing him. This is how I know Turtleboy's heart is genuine and is true. And yeah, he comes off brass and he comes off like a typical Boston guy. And I've already told you guys my history with Boston guys. I'm from the West Coast. And the West Coast guys and the Boston guys always clashed. Now, I did have one or two friends from Boston that I really do care about even to this day. But there was always a clash. But I can tell by the way Turtleboy handled this situation with this dude FlipperHead that Turtleboy's heart has a good heart and he cares about people. Yeah, he's a showman and he likes to be, but that's just his personality. That's just his personality. It's the same reason why I always jumped on everyone's shit for not liking Jersey Shore. When the reasons they didn't like Jersey Shore is like, oh, look at these dudes. They think they're, cool and they're partying. Yeah, and they're having fun and they're getting paid by MTV and they're becoming millionaires. Why would you hate on them just for doing that? It makes no sense. So anyways, it's almost the same situation. So this guy FlipperHead before was wanted Turtleboy's help with this girl Olivia, and she was going to be working for Turtleboy's defense team and help writing some motions. This guy didn't believe she was real, thought that she was really TOS, thought she was dead. And Turtleboy hadn't met her yet either, though. So they didn't know if maybe he was getting catfish. So Turtleboy was like, well, you know what? I'm going to have a Zoom call with her. And if she doesn't show up, then yeah, she's probably not real. But if she does show up, I'm going to hire her. And he did. She showed up, he hired her. Well, this girl, she never did FaceTime with him when they were talking like romantically and flirting around because she just was shy. And she ended up just not being that into him and felt pressure of wanting to do all the FaceTime and sending pictures. And she just didn't want to do it. It was an online parasocial relationship and she just didn't want to do it. Well, anyways, he makes this big stink that he got psycho about it. And really, look, she's just not that into you. She's a shy person and end up getting blocked by, he ended up contacting her sister and her mom. And it's just a big deal. Well, he's admitted it, and he's admitted that he was a little crazy about it. But Turtleboy never said anything about this for a long time because he was trying to protect the kid. Look, there's lots of single girls in the Free Karen Reed movement. You're a good-looking guy. Go, sow your royal oats or whatever. Go do you. Don't worry about this girl. And so when this dude became oppositional about him being butthurt about Karen not being on a show, and then him going behind the scenes with Karen Reed, asking her like, "Hey, do you want your story out there? I'll tell the world for you." And supposedly she said yes. Allegedly she said yes. That's what the text messages say. I don't think she meant this. I think she just was like, yeah, sure, you can go ahead and tell my side of the story. I don't think she meant this because now it's blown up. And I'm part of that problem now because I'm blowing it up. But it's hopefully this is all making sense. Hopefully I'm telling this in a succinct way. The way it happens, all the detail, that doesn't really matter. But so anyway, so Turtleboy gets pissed and says, all right, MFer, I'm gonna, you're the crazy person that was almost stalking this girl because you didn't think she was real. And you had, and I told you she was, and she's just not that into you. There's plenty of other people. And then he just went, crazy with all that. So Turtleboy in pure Turtleboy fashion said, all right, you want to do this? Well, now I'm doing this. Now I'm going to let everyone know this is who you are. And you know what? And this sounds like who he is. He doesn't sound like, he just sounds like it's a clout grab. He's just trying to grab clout for his videos or for his channel or for whatever reason. I don't think his heart is true when he's trying to do. Yeah, I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. But I think he's just doing clout grabs and to try to be a part of. And I understand it. I just think that's, if I'm calling balls and strikes, that's the way I'm calling it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know, but it's entertaining. I know that. I know it's surely entertaining, and it's not hurting anybody reporting on it. And that's what I'm doing. This is truly where we all need to land on.
About it from his perspective. And I'm not saying whatever he's doing, I don't even know what the fuck he's doing right now is right. But he got arrested for what?
Right.
Oh.
Exercising his First Amendment right? Is that why he got arrested?
Oh.
I don't know why he got arrested. I can't figure it out still.
Just what he's doing right now.
Let me, Joe, let me put it to you this way. I've gotten to the point where literally, who do I trust in government? Close to no one. I've lived through this shit. I've seen it happen. I've seen people standing across the street from D&E Pizza get fucking arrested,
Oh.
or at least charged, not arrested, at least charged. And I'm sitting in the background saying, shit, you know, like this is fucking wrong. My mother got her, they tried to take her friggin' tires off her car because she was one of the first to protest this bullshit. I think I know who did it. We're up against something that's historically horrible. And all I'm going to, you know, ask all of you, content creators, otherwise, and everyone else, leave the petty bullshit at the fucking door. Content creation is great because it spreads the message and spreads the word. When it gets to this point, all it becomes is divisive. And if you believe in the First Amendment and you believe in the other rights that everyone else should believe in, those in the U.S. particularly, all you're doing is breaking the movement.
But we're not.
And Joe, I'm going to say it like last time. I'll go on mute and I'll go away. Like I'm to the point where literally I don't trust a single effing person at the Norfolk County DA's office. Like literally, if my house was on fucking fire, I don't know if I'd call the Canton Police Department. That's how bad it's gotten. I leave it there. I love all the content creators. And why? Because they're exposing some truths that need to be exposed. What I'm pissed off about is the bullshit where it comes to Aiden said this, you know, this person said this, and I get it. You get very personally involved in all of these, you know, conversations and who said what and when they said it and this person and, you know, all that crap. I've said it, you know, I've spoken up on a couple of different shows. Great. I want to say to everyone out there, shit is fucked up in Canton, Massachusetts. And it's not just Canton, Massachusetts, it's the whole of Norfolk County. And so what are we trying to do? If someone gets arrested, what are you going to do? You're going to believe the detectives who are going in there, and they're also going in there and arresting people for putting rubber ducks on a fucking sidewalk?
Amen.
Amen, indeed, because that is truly what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to expose and get this corruption cleaned up because, like he just said, like he can't even call the cops if he's got something going on because what if? Because he can't trust any of them. You can't trust anyone in the Norfolk County, the DA's office. You can't trust the cops in Canton. I couldn't imagine that, not being able to trust an entire police force in my community. That I wouldn't feel safe. I wouldn't feel safe. And that's the bottom line. And so like all these other little situations and infighting, and look, there's some like amazing people in this community. Look at all these people. Look at NurseKim. Look at these dudes. They did like an after party show after Turtleboy's thing last night. They just jam out and there's a dude named Kev and Jay and this other dude named James. Anyways, they just like jam out. You know, and they talk about stuff and they like do like a little DJ session at night. And they're like, so there's them and they've been a big part of it. They went to the Waterford bar to show how close Brian Higgins was to John O'Keefe. And it was inches really. And so because people were saying, well, maybe he didn't hear him at the door saying, you know, come outside, MFer, come outside and let's do this. Well, no, he did hear it. You can tell that's what he's saying. We're all guys. And I mean, not everyone, you know what I mean? Every guy and girl who's ever seen a dispute like in a bar or anything, we all know, you know, what that is. And so they went and did like a video to show like how close that was. So there's all kinds of players in this, like in like these little pockets and people and just an amazing thing. And that's why I was so attracted to it in the beginning. Was like, look at this community is insane. They're like amazing people. Like I haven't tried to interject myself and like comment on everybody's stuff. Like, look at me. I just do my little videos. If they get some attention, they do. I've had a few get a lot of attention. I mean, at least 3,000 of my subscribers are probably from Massachusetts. So I don't know. I just love this community. I love how they're getting justice for John, how they're trying to get justice for John. And I love how they're trying to clean up their community in the only way that they know how. And that's just to keep yelling at it from the rooftops. So anyway, did I digress and Sam explain something? You guys will get used to it. My Samsters are already used to it, but yeah.
That's how screwed up it is. We join forces together to fight that. This stuff doesn't help anything on that side. And I'm sorry, but these conversations drive me crazy, where it's the infighting between people who believe ultimately the same thing that accomplish nothing.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's as much as infighting, but it's like maybe you're feeling some type of way because it's Aiden. And like, trust me, I get it. I didn't feel comfortable doing this.
I will say this unequivocally, Joe. It ain't about Aiden.
Okay, that's all. What I'm saying is when he does this to other people, it's fucking praised. And you know for a fact, everybody listening knows for a fact, he wouldn't have needed a fucking recording if he was accusing anybody else of this.
Joe, I'm going to say this like perfectly honestly clear. I don't give a fuck about a fucking recording.
So you don't care if
between Aiden and I don't care about Aiden's involvement, other than if he hadn't done it, who would know about it? So, right? I don't care. He's a narcissistic son of a bitch, whatever you want to call him. I don't care. What he actually exposed so that all the other content creators could have a platform to share information about something that's affecting me, my family, everyone in this community, whether silent or not. I praise him for it. And I think he did a hell of a job doing it. What he's going through, who the fuck knows, right? I mean, that's up between him and Karen. I don't care if he recorded, Joe, I don't care if he recorded something or not. That is between him and Karen and the other content creators. Go for it. Go for it.
So you're okay with him
Keep your eye on the...
Is that what you're saying?
What's that?
You're okay with him just lying to you? Or do you want the truth?
I'm not okay with anyone lying. Joe, I'm not okay with anyone lying to anyone.
Okay, well, that's what he was doing.
Okay, well, maybe I'm on the wrong, whatever, live chat thing. I have no idea. All I'm saying to you is if he hadn't exposed what he had done or what had happened in this town around particularly that instance, where would we be? And what his issues are with anyone in the world, and he has many, I'm just telling you from my perspective, I don't care. But what I am saying is I am appreciative of him. And so all I'm going to say to the content creators, and there's a bunch of you here, is I don't give a shit about the content creation. I want you all to be successful in doing what you're doing online and all that. I'm appreciative for you all putting the spotlight on something that's not only been an embarrassment to the town, but has, exposed the wrongs that are happening here, literally against the Constitution of the United States. So that's all I'm going to say. But, I appreciate all you're doing. Keep your eye on the friggin' prize.
Yes.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, look, FlipperHead's like, oh, all right. Well, you don't care that he's lying to you? No, of course he cared. No, it doesn't matter who's lying or who's not. It's between Karen and him. Doesn't matter. Look, Turtleboy doesn't owe any of these people any honor. He doesn't owe any of those people any honor. He can lie to FlipperHead. It doesn't matter. Because maybe it's something he needs to lie to him about. Maybe maybe it's something that maybe he's protecting Karen. We don't know, right? He could be protecting Karen by saying, no, I didn't record that, because maybe it is a wiretap, and maybe they are being framed to pit each other against each other. And maybe his lawyer is working on, I'm just saying, there's all kinds of possibilities, but the bottom line is it doesn't matter. Turtleboy doesn't owe FlipperHead any honor or anyone else in that little square of people talking right there. He doesn't owe any of them any honor. Now, if there's someone he knows personally, then he can DM them and tell them what's really going on. But like to the world and to Joe FlipperHead, he doesn't owe that dude anything. He doesn't owe him the truth. I hope that makes sense. He doesn't owe him any honor. None at all. So it doesn't matter what Joe FlipperHead says. Turtleboy has saved Karen Reed and possibly this community when it's all said and done. And he's gone to jail for it. And there's all kinds of other things. And like, look, I'm not swinging off Turtleboy's nuts. That's not this is the first time you guys have ever heard me talk about Turtleboy. Maybe the second. So I'm just saying.
Lovies. I thought that this Joe from Canton was so impactful. And to hear him at the end bring it home, which of course I do not condone any, like, if it were to be found true, I don't condone it. I would absolutely, stand up against it. But for what we have right now, and for all the shit that Aiden has on his plate in the last 48 fucking hours, it makes me sad to think that it can be said. And yes, there was, a text message from Karen to Flip that was shared, that was enough that clearly show that Karen believed it. But I do not think that she's lying, and I do not think that Aiden is lying.
Exactly.
And I also believe deeply that idle hands are the devil's playground. And everyone needs a fucking hobby. Because this, in the turning on each other and the ability to not see the forest for the trees anymore, is wild. And without, for you to be able to put such a bold fucking statement into the ether, I would expect for you to have all of the receipts. And if you provide them, so be it. And if you don't, I will believe that somebody is working, or somebody's is working to destroy the relationship between Karen and Aiden, and to destroy the Free Karen Read movement, and anyone looking into justice for Officer John O'Keefe, justice for Sandra Birchmore, the Free and Turtleboy. We still got shit to do.
And the timing should definitely be recognized also, the timing of all this. Right after Karen Read has announced that she's about to sue a ton of used to be powerful people and a ton of people that were in at the Fairview residence the night John O'Keefe was unalived. Yeah, the timing, maybe it's a coincidence, I don't know, but they're definitely trying, something's happening. And so let's just go over to X real quick. I'm going to play. So the dude didn't have the recording because he'd never heard it. He was just going on Karen Read's, what Karen Read had told him in an email, right? So this is from Grant Smith Ellis. I don't know exactly who this is, but I think he's just like a content creator, a reporter. So overnight, this is just overnight last night. 2 further alleged recordings of Aiden Turtleboy Kearney and Karen Read emerged today. Both conversations related to Kearney going to Lindsay Gattani's apartment on 12/23/23 against Karen's advice, leading to the seizure of Karen's phone and Turtleboy's arrest. Over the weekend, reports emerged that Kearney may have recorded a 30-minute call with Read and then had it sent to Karen's lawyers. Kearney vigorously denied all the allegations during on a X Spaces discussion on Friday, only for multiple recordings and text messages from Karen to leak leading up to Monday morning's chaos. Strangely, Kate Peter and all her allies. Now, this is going to get into a bunch of other stuff that we don't need to make everything else convoluted. It's just too much. It's too much for me to drop all on one episode. Look, this guy's like, it's almost checkmate time. It doesn't matter.
Look, I didn't do it. I didn't do anything either. What's wrong with these guys anymore? But they're dangerous.
Yeah. Karen, do you honestly believe that I've the $1.1 billion is your legal defense fund that you needed badly, right? Where the fuck do you think that came from? Of course, it was partly to do with Lindsay.
See, that was edited. That first one was edited, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second.
And I paid the price for that. I had to sit in there for 60 days and think.
That's not the narrative you keep feeding. Your narrative is, I went to jail for Karen Read, and she doesn't thank me.
No, I was arrested for Karen Read. That's a fact.
And I nearly nearly got indicted with you, Aiden. I nearly went with you.
House. That's what I said.
And who has saved your credibility? I gave you the story, and I have backed up everything I've ever told you. And now you're taking to Twitter. Like,
Am I on?
You're on, Aiden.
So who are you? Who is this?
Don't worry about
motherfucker?
it. Doesn't matter about who I am.
Well, it does. You're some fucking kangaroo motherfucker talking about Karen. What the fuck do you know about anything?
Well, I know.
So yeah, he's a little defensive, he already, but look, people can say, yeah, he's defensive because it's true. I think it's defensive because, and again, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because I always land on the side of Turtleboy because of his history with this movement. Is that he's like, who are you? Like, this is between me and Karen. Doesn't matter if I recorded it, doesn't matter. And I've already stated all the reasons why he doesn't owe any of these people any honor. He doesn't owe them the truth or to be honest with them or not these specific people. He just doesn't. I still right now, because of what I know about the feds and what I know about this community, the Norfolk law enforcement and the Justice Department in that area, is that, look, they tried to frame Karen Reed. They took pieces of taillight, hours and days later and spread it all over lawn and said it was, look at all the things that they've done to frame her. You don't think that they could record, have a wiretap in one of Aiden's offices and him on speakerphone with Karen Reed? You don't think that's a possibility? That's absolutely 1,000,000% a possibility. And if anyone says that, no, that's not, like FlipperHead or this koala dude says, oh, no, that's not what happened. Well, now you're just in it for Karen Reed and you're just trying to swing off her nuts and go down on her. Excuse my language, guys. I know that's not normally how I talk, but that's what's up, right? That's what's up. If you can't even begin to think that that's a possibility, then you're in it for some other reason, and it's either to get laid or to be in her movie or to be a part of the story. So you're in a documentary. Who knows why? It's a clout grab. It's just what I said in the description of the video. Clout grab alert. What did I say? I don't remember what I said. I can never remember. And then when I go to talk about it, oh yeah, clout chaser alert. FlipperHead turns on Turtleboy allegedly for Karen Reed. Yeah, and the more I hear about all this, the more I absolutely believe that's to be true. It's a clout grab. This dude is a bizarro dude. So that's basically it in a nutshell. There's so much other things going on with other nemesis of Turtleboy that it just make it too confusing. It's already confusing, right? So, but here's what Turtleboy had to say last night at the beginning of his podcast. Take a listen.
As someone, so this is $25 from Giardia is real. Okay. Now, disclaimer. There's certain things that I've already talked about that I'm not giving any more fucking light to. All I'm saying is just wait. Okay. That's it. Just wait. You'll see. I'm not saying shit. Wait. Just wait. And I keep tabs on everyone who has wronged me. Okay. Everyone who has doubted me. I would like to say that I've been doing this for 11 years now. 11 years. And if you read my book, which was written in 2019, right, you can go back and you can see the list of people who have tried to stop me, who have tried to take me down, who thought that this is the death blow, right? This is what's going to stop him, right? We can't come back from this. And we could go through the whole list if you'd like. We could talk about, all the people who have sued me over the years and lost. We could talk about all the people who dedicated their lives to get me kicked off Facebook. And we had a Facebook page with 112,000 followers that I drove traffic, that we used to drive traffic to the website. Nuked. Lost that page, lost 40 more pages after that. We could talk about people get me kicked off of Google AdSense, and I couldn't make any money on turtleboysports.com, so I had to start an entirely new website called tvdailynews.com. Okay, we can talk about, all the people who I've had to get restraining orders on, who've done death threats to me, right? Attempted to get criminal complaints on me, attempted to get restraining orders on me, all because I talk. I could go on, and I will actually go on. And then there's all the people who tried to fuck with my personal life. There's all the people out there. And Krusty Panties ain't the only one. Oh, no. All the people, but she is obviously a big part of it. I mean, people who released revenge pornography of me. And that was the one I thought there might not be any coming back from. That was the one where I'm like, oh, this is, whew. Whew. There's no coming back from it. Like, that's, how do you ever show your face after that? Right? And then you're just like, fuck it.
Cause we're speaking of hope.